So Jimmy, it's been a long wait in some ways. I guess happy to be back on the grass.
Buzzing to be back, and I think that the staff and the playing staff are infused and energised to be back on the grass and get doing what we all love to do.
In terms of the last few months, it's been difficult. Obviously, at the start when you came in February, it was a bit patchy with games getting called off and whatnot, and then it comes to a standstill. How have you been able to work over these last few months?
I think it's been difficult and frustrating because obviously being out of work myself for so long and be given an opportunity to do the things that I love, it was a difficult testing time. But also looking at rebuilding and reshaping the squad gave us more time to probably do our due diligence and look at players probably more in depth. Looking at the new recruits, before we pushed the button and made that decision to get them on board.
And if you look at incomings and outgoings, quite a lot went out, so you had to almost rebuild. You had the base there, but the players you've brought in, are you pleased with the work that you've done?
100%. I think we've got a really good balance now. If you look at our squad, so we've got some players that have been and played much higher levels than where we compete now, and with some championship experience and without doubt added quality in terms of their technical ability. The cohort of the group and the squad that remained from last season are of a good age, 25 to 28 years of age, bags of experience at playing this level, and then got some young, hungry players who have, are looking to find their way and looking to get games on their CV. So I think the squad is looking very, very healthy. It's certainly very, very competitive. I think we've got a very, very good mixture.
In terms of managing the players over the lockdown period, was that difficult because you were sort of managing fitness and then looking to still recruit players at the same time?
Yeah, I guess it was testing time for everybody because obviously nobody's experienced what we went through, and obviously when before the season got pulled and we knew we weren't going to return back to competition, the players are reliant on their home programs and working from home, and a lot of that is without the ball. There's only certain things you could do, and in that lockdown as well, not even daft things of getting a mate and going to the park and working in pairs that they couldn't do. So everything was literally in isolation. That was challenging. We tried to do different things, some Zoom sessions and some group squad sessions together, and I got a family friend to do some work and a different kind of fitness session with the lads. So just try to keep them stimulated and motivated and try to have as much access and conversations as we possibly could, and then once we were all furloughed, obviously things change and you're relying upon the players to make sure they look after themselves, and they keep ticking over and touch wood, and I know lots of people say this, lots of managers say this, all our lads come back in really good shape, and hopefully it will make that transition from having that long lengthy period away from the game to returning back to competition. It will make it a little bit easier.
Just to touch back on the last few months, obviously keeping busy, you sort of formed the Moors Fours. How do you feel that went? Obviously raising a lot of money for a really great cause.
It was great. It's something that I'd seen on Twitter. Dave Goggins did. He does it over 48 hours, and I thought, let's have a crack at it. And we pretty much put that together in probably the space of 10 days. And I think in the end, that over 70 participants, and I think we raised over £25,000 for NHS charities. So it was good. It was nice to communicate with different people as well, and of course it was in the lockdown, so the restrictions I think had eased, so you were able to go out and exercise and things like that, but everybody did it remotely, and it was nice to see WhatsApp messages and video messages and people competing against each other, and I suppose in that testing time a distraction, but a nice distraction to make some money for charity also.
Does that feel a long way away now? I guess we're looking now to fixtures released in a couple of weeks' time, and then really pre-season does get go with the games as well.
Yeah, but I mean, in my mind, obviously there's certain things that we had to do, and last week we got the lads back in and completed stage one, so the lads were coming in groups of 5, and again that's very, very strange, and not having your squad in day one of pre-season all together and spread out, and the type of sessions you can do is a little bit challenging, I suppose. But now pretty much we're back to normality. I mean, there's obviously things and protocols via COVID that we have to adhere to, but pretty much we are back to normal, and it feels very normal as well, having the group training together, us being together as a member of staff and being able to interact in and out the building now and the programme. And as you said, I think once that first or the first 2 pre-season games come through, you know, everything just tick over nicely, and we can work our way to that first game of the season.
And of course, we're sat in the new training complex. A lot of money and work has gone into it over the last few months. Is it sort of fit for the next stage of where we want to be now?
Most definitely. I mean, I'm kind of lucky that, you know, I've got lots of friends and coaches and managers that, you know, have managed and coached at a higher level than this. You know, and they've been down at various stages over the development to have a look, and you know, they've been blown away from it. So you know, most definitely the playing surface is as good as most championship training grounds would be. We're very, very fortunate. We've got sprinklers, you know, so on dry days we can get some additional water on there. The drainage is very, very good. The gymnasium, you know, it's as big, if not bigger, than my previous club, and you know, it's very, very functional. You know, it's brand new. There's a nice brand new feel to it. So in that sense, I think it's important that we make sure that we give the players a facility and training ground that does feel nice and does feel fresh, but I don't want it to be, you know, I don't want it to take away from, you know, us having a real workman-like mentality and an attitude to, you know, to put the hard work in, and looking at the players, at the playing squad that we've got and the culture that was set in. I don't think that will be an issue. So, you know, it is very, very nice, and it can be, sometimes training grounds can be too nice and the environment can be too easy. I don't think we've got that. I think we've got the balance just about right, and you know, and obviously, you know, massive credit to Darryl and Tim, and you know, and the board to give us that financial backing to, you know, to get us where we are today.